Hey everyone, Trevor here. This video is in response to quite a few people sending me messages suggesting that I should launch crowdfunding and they might be able to help. I really appreciate those sorts of messages, and I'm not holding a gun to anyone's head. If people are out there that can help, great. If they can't, well, I appreciate the fact they just even look at this video. So at the moment, what's happening is I'm actually camped. We're in a place where I shouldn't camp, and what's happened is I've got a broken engine in my Suby. I'll get into that a bit later and talk about exactly what I need for it. But I thought what I might do in this video is just talk about there's other ways you can help me as well. So first up, like I say, I'm in a place I shouldn't camp at and I really need to relocate. A few weeks ago I had some letters dropped off by Cardinia Council telling me to move on, or they're going to fine me $4,000 and have me found guilty of a criminal offence. Then they doubled down about a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, and said, now if you don't go now, we're going to fine you twice. So there's $8,000 and 2 offences, and we're going to seize all your gear. So that was a little bit rough. I'd been in contact with them, tried to explain the situation, and then finally what happened is I had 2 of their people come out and we had a conversation. Since then they've backed off from that stance, and we've had some good conversations. They're actually trying to find somewhere where I can park. As you can see, I don't have a big footprint. I've got a 6x4 trailer with my rooftop tent on top, and I've got a Subaru Outback. That's it. Doesn't take up much room. So they're just trying to find me somewhere where I can relocate to. The most important thing for me is that I need to be near public transport. At the moment I'm suffering really bad plantar fasciitis and I can't walk very far. I'm probably doing more walking than I'm meant to anyway. That's being dealt with, and it's pretty tricky. So this is why this place works for me, because I've got a bus stop right out front and I can go into Emerald and get supplies. I can go all the way to Belgrave and down in the city, because I have to do that from time to time. I go down to a homeless resource centre and have a hot shower, do my laundry, catch up with mates, play some pool, but also I can be in touch with professional services there if needed, and also that's where my mail goes, so that's important. And just to give you an idea about, you might be wondering, what's Trevor Brown about? Well, what I can tell you is I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I don't take illicit drugs, I'm not into any nefarious activities. I'm one of the good guys. In my past I've been involved in the SES, and I was involved in search and rescue, road accident rescue, vertical rescue, a whole range of things, and including this sort of stuff. This is a photo from 2005. We had a down plane at Mount Hotham, so we're out in the snow and blizzard conditions, pretty ordinary. I was also involved in Red Cross. I did first aid for a number of years with them. We had a first aid team up in Bright, where I used to live. I did first aid on the Murray Marathon, which is a massive big canoe kayak race from Yarrawonga to Swan Hill. It was 401 k's over about 5 days. So I've been involved in that. More recently, I've been a volunteer with the Council of Homeless Persons and been involved with doing talks to students, as well as working with local councils, state government, the Victorian Electoral Commission, a whole range of people, just trying to push the wheel. So, and I'm still involved in that, and that's pretty cool. So what I'm asking is, if there's someone out there that's got a backyard or maybe a front yard, or maybe you've got a farm. I don't need much room, I just need somewhere to relocate. I'm in the Gembrook area at the moment, and just, somewhere nearby would be handy, but I'm happy to travel. I've got friends that can help me out moving, and there's even services that will help me move, so I can get a tow truck for my car. I've got a mate who can come and pick up my trailer. So that's the first thing I need, but there's other options as well. Well, welcome to the office / kitchen, and tonight I've got a beautiful corned beef silverside on the boil, so looking forward to that in a little while. That's going to be very nice. This has been my office basically for the last 18 months, set up under here, where the tent folds out. It's pretty cool. Even on a wet day, water doesn't really get in here. If it does get in here, well, I go up in the tent if it gets that bad. But I've been in some pretty cool spots, and when the car was going, I went to some amazing campsites. I was up on the Murray and I was out near Luderderg State Park, out near Bacchus Marsh, up in the high country. This is up at Victoria Falls, and as you can see, I had the laptop set up, and a lot of people were like, "What are you working on?" Well, simple fact of the matter is, back over a decade ago, I was camped way out the Buckland. This is when I first became homeless. I was having a little van, and I'd only been out there a couple of weeks, and I was suffering depression. I was basically looking for which tree I was going to swing from. I'd had enough. And as I'm walking around camp, it was a big camp, this crazy story started running in my head, and I spent a few days playing with it and thought, this could be cool. And then one night I got to a bit where some of the secrets come out, and it sent a bit of a chill, and I thought, well, if that's what it does to me and I know the whole story, maybe I should start writing some of this stuff down. So I started writing, and then I lost the password for a number of years. That's a whole other story. You can read about that in the first book. But what I did when the car broke, I basically got the story almost to a point where I was ready to go. I talked to some publishers, and they said they don't do big books anymore. You've got to get to about 400 pages. And last March, I released the first instalment of the Shari Menace book series. This is part one, book one. And what's happened is I split the big book up. What was going to be one book has been split up, and that's part one now. So there's going to be 5 books in that. It's Battle Amongst the Stars, Love, Lust, Loss, Death. There's all sorts of action in there. There's space battles with ship to ship up in space. There's battles on ships and space stations, as well as, you know, battles on the ground in towns and cities, things like that. There's also a bit of romance and action between the shoots. I write for adults, so there's sex and swearing, and that's how it goes. But I got the first book out. I released that last March, and then last September I released the second one, and off it goes. Both of these are all 3 of them are 484 pages. So in each one of the first ones there's 108,000 words in that, and then the third one, which I released only a little while ago on March 25th. The third book's actually 114,000 words, so I've actually pumped it a little bit fuller than the others, so there we go. But that's my baby, that's what I'm working on. I've got a Facebook page for it, here's a link. I've got a big story. After part one's finished, there's going to be 2 more books. They're going to be a prequel, there'll be prequels, and talk about where the characters started and where they come from, where the enemy came from, and why they're doing what they're doing. And then part 2 is going to be the end run down to the finish, and I do know how it finishes, and we'll see if that's 5 or 6 books. I think the end story might be a bit big for one book, so we'll see what happens. I got the first 3 books out, and I'm already working on the cover and started writing of book 4, so I'm up and running. And they're available on, they're available on Amazon. They're available in Kindle version. They're also available in Kindle, so Kobo, so both digital platforms, so they're available there. They're $8 each in the digital versions. The paperbacks, they're $29.70 on Amazon Australia. You have to change the currencies for all the international stuff. I've had some sales recently in Japan and also America, so I'm sort of hoping that's going to grow. And yeah, that's what I'm really about, and every sale helps. So if you don't want to hook into the big crowdfunding, and I'll talk about that next, but if you just want to throw a few dollars at me, you can buy a book. You can buy the first 3 Kindle books. That's only $24, and you get 3 stories. That's not too bad. But the real problem I've got is that I've got a Subaru with a broken engine. So apart from finding somewhere to move to in the near future, and you know, if people want to look at my book series, that's awesome. But the main issue I got is that this thing's broken. That's a EJ25 engine for and this is a 2001 Subaru Outback. It's done 450,000 Ks. It's had heaps of issues. I put oversized piston and rings in because I had to when I rebuilt it some time ago, and yeah, it's just got issues. So what I've been looking at is what it would cost to get a new engine. Everything I look at, including delivery, is about $2,000 by the time you get it here. So that's tricky. There's other options like just get a short block or rebuilt short block. I can get one of them for about $2,400 delivered. I'm not sure if that's really what I want to do. I'd like the idea of just putting in another engine, maybe replacing the head gaskets. Got brand new head gaskets to go on, and drive out of here. That's really what I want to do. So all the money that comes out of this crowdfunding campaign will be poured into this, every cent. and I'm happy to show people, you know, what I bought, how much it cost, and I'd love to show people a video of me hooking up my trailer and driving out of here. That's the video I want to show you. That's the one. So with your help, like I say, this video has been because people said launch some crowdfunding, we might be able to help you out. And I appreciate anybody that has a look at the video. I really appreciate anybody that actually throws some dollars into it. I'm doing everything I can, and I just need a bit of help. And then I'll drive out of here and I can go to proper campsites. I'd love to go up in the Murray or back up into the high country where I used to live near Bright. And yeah, I'd get me out of here. So the clock's ticking, and yeah, like I say, I just need a bit of help. Again, I appreciate everyone that has a look at the video, and I really appreciate anyone that pours some money into crowdfunding. Anybody that wants to buy my books, every sale helps. Believe it or not, every sale helps, and then you get a quality product. So I've done everything I can on it, done the best job I can. Sure, there's a couple of mistakes in there and some typos and things like that. Oh well, it is what it is. But through that, you can still, the story still goes, and it's my baby, and that's what I'm working on. And that's the thing I want to be working on, not this. I want to be working on my book series. So that's what I'm about. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, that's where it's at. Cheers.